Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today I am going to be teaching you how to change the oil in your car. So now, it's different for most cars, but most of them, the plug is underneath the car. So your first step to do when changing the oil is first to pop the hood, and then here on the oil cap, it will say what kind of oil is required for your car. So here it says that you need 5W30 oil. So then you go and buy your 5W30 oil that you need. And you can also do more research on your car and stuff like that and it'll say how many quarts you need. It doesn't say on there, but you do your research and look up how many quarts of oil you need. This needs 6.4, so this is a 5 quart, and then that's another 5 quart, and we're gonna fill up the car. Alright, next step, now that we've found out what kind of oil we need to jack up the car because we're gonna need to get underneath it. So we'll place our jack where we need to place it on that hard point, and then we will jack up the car so we can get underneath it. Alright, now that we have successfully jacked up the car to where it is off the ground and we can get underneath it, now we take a jack stand and put it underneath the car as well, so that in the unlikely event that the jack should fail, the car will land on the jack stand like this, and it will hold it up so that we don't get crushed. And that just goes like that, right around the same place that the jack goes. So that's there as a safety measure. And now we grab our oil pan to collect all the old dirty oil that we will get out of this thing. Alright, so now that we have secured our oil pan, now we will get underneath the car and locate the drain plug, which for some cars it's different, but on this Toyota it is conveniently located right here. So we will loosen this and pull that, and then all the oil will drain out. So let's get ourselves a wrench and we will pull that. Alright, so after a little bit of process of elimination, you should be able to find the right socket, and just a normal Allen wrench or a ratchet should work for this job. And as you can see, that fits on there quite nicely. And then what you'll do is you'll break the torque on that, and then you'll be able to take this off. But first we should position the oil pan underneath so we don't make a huge mess. And then work on getting this off. Alright, so after breaking torque on the this nut, it should be relatively easy to come off. So now you just keep twisting it until you can twist it off by hand. And now the oil will start flowing out pretty quickly, so you want to get your hand out of the way. But it is inevitable, you will get dirty hands doing this. And now the oil is draining out. And now we just wait for that to finish. We put our little nut there. And we go wipe our hands. Alright, so while we are waiting for the oil to drain out of the engine, we take our bolt or the nut that we pulled and we look at the end, because the ends of these bolts, there's a magnet on there that should catch any little metal shavings, which will indicate if there's any gears grinding. If there's gears grinding, those little shavings are going to get caught by this magnet. So we inspect that to make sure there's no metal shavings. And after confirming that we are good, then we just use our rag and clean it off. And then we set that off to the side for later. And as you can see, it's still draining slowly, but we should wait a little bit longer for that. You wait until it's slowly dripping. So right now it's still seeping, but we're gonna wait until it's like dripping and when there's hardly any left. Alright, so now that the oil is just down to a slow drip like this, we can put the bolt back. So once we grab our bolt, we just stick it back where it goes and we screw it in hand tight. We just tighten it by hand until we can't get it anymore with our hand. And then we grab our wrench and then we tighten it a little more. Until it's good and tight like that. Don't overdo it, or else you're gonna be really mad at yourself next time you wanna change the oil. So just tighten it with your hand and then tighten it with a wrench until it stops spinning, and then don't try to tighten it anymore. And now we grab our rag and we just clean up the excess oil on the bottom of the pan like that, so it's nice and clean. That's pretty. Alright, now we don't have to be under here anymore. Now we go to the top of the engine where we will put in our new oil. Alright, so now that we are up here, we can first of all lower the car. So make sure to put this jack away first, because you don't want to be dropping your car on this. And now all jacks are different, but to raise a car, you grab the handle and you twist it this way, and then you pump it up to lift the car. And with this jack, now you grab it and you twist it the other way, and it will drop the car pretty quickly. So we do a double check to make sure there's nothing important underneath the car, and then we go ahead and drop it like that, and then we can pull the jack away. And now the car is back safely on the ground. And you slide that out from underneath there as well. That's all your old oil. You can store it in there or take it to somewhere else and dispose of it safely. Now we take our funnel and we will put it in here because this is where we will put our oil. Now it is important to know what kind and how much you put in there, because you don't want to put too little oil or else your engine is going to run rough, and you don't want to put too much because, well, it's going to overflow and you're going to make a huge mess. And you need the right type of oil or else your engine is also going to run rough. Alright, so now that you got the cap off of your oil and the little foil wrapper and all that, you take it and you slowly, carefully, and patiently pour your new oil into the funnel while making sure that it doesn't overflow the funnel, because if you see when I pour really fast, the funnel will fill up because it bottlenecks, because the end of the funnel is really skinny. So as you're doing that, you're just watching it to make sure it doesn't overflow like that. And you just keep steadily pouring it in. And I poured it a little too fast. And that should be it for this jug. That was 5 quarts. So, as you can see on the side of this jug, there's a measure, or you got a certain level. So you got liters on this side and quarts on this side. So it says up to 4 quarts up to here, but all the way that would be 5 quarts. So we used all of that. And the new jug, as you can see the oil level with a dark line. So the oil goes up to here at 5 quarts. So we needed about 6.5 quarts in here. So we are going to pour the oil into there until it gets to about here. So periodically we're going to stop pouring oil and check the level until we have the right amount that we need. Alright, so we will start pouring once again. And we only need to put in 1.4 quarts. So now we check the level. Yep, it's still above 4. So we need to pour a little more. And make sure you're also watching that so that doesn't overflow either. We check it again. Now it's slightly below 4. So just a little more. And that should be good. So now you take this and you put that away for later use, for next time. And that should be good for in there. Alright, and then now you take your rag again. You'll wipe off your funnel. You'll wipe off this area here so it's nice and clean. And you check to make sure it's all good. You can wipe your cap off if you want, though you don't really have to. And then all you do is you just put the cap back on. Like so. And you just turn it until it doesn't want to go anymore. Just like that, you have changed the oil in your car. And if you like this type of content, like, subscribe, and comment down below if you want to see more of this or if you want to see something else. And thank you. Have a good day.